My friends, welcome back to the channel. Before we jump into today's AMC update, I want to start out by saying, number one, nothing I'm giving you is financial advice. Everything is for educational purposes only, so that way you can make awesome decisions for yourself, your family, and your portfolio. But even more important, I want to start out by saying thank you. This last weekend for me was a bunch of crazy highs and lows. I took my team down to Fort Worth to fight for some big-time contracts in a new up-and-coming kickboxing organization, and everybody did great. But when I got home, I got the crushing news that one of my students had passed away. And I spoke with the parents, and let me tell you, man, that was like 16 years of coaching, 20 years of training, by far and away the hardest conversation I've ever had to have in my entire life. So I felt on my heart that I wanted to try to help this family out. I knew they were struggling. Obviously, nobody ever plans on burying their child, so I started a GoFundMe on Twitter, and I said I would be matching the first $1,000 raise. And as of right now, it is sitting at over $3,300, and so we'll be able to bless this family and help out in just an awful time. The kiddo's name was Jackson Mendoza. He was a student of mine for about 6 months and was just a joy to teach, was at the gym almost every single day. His mom was telling me last night that his one of his dreams was to be a coach one day. I've got another coach that's a Jackson, and they built a bond. And so anyway, as much as I hate, and I do hate it sometimes, as much as I hate social media, man, the outpouring of love and support and donating and everything like that, I really just wanted to take the time to say thank you. Man, whew. Nobody should ever have to bury their child, and the way so many of you guys really reached out to this family and to me was just truly awesome. And thank you. I'm going to keep the GoFundMe open until Friday, and then I'm going to close it down because we're also taking donations at our gym until Friday, and then we're gonna get all that money over to that family. So I apologize if you don't know anything that's going on, or if you just follow me on YouTube, but I just wanted to take the time to really say thank you to everybody that follows me. It was truly awesome, and I look forward to the opportunity to pay it forward when that opportunity comes up. Okay. All right, jumping into the video. So AMC, I tweeted this out on Saturday, I think it was. I tweeted out this picture of this pennant that we are currently trading in. So obviously we've got this long line of resistance. We've followed up by this long line of support where we're constantly making higher lows, but we're also making lower highs. That leads to compression, and that compression leads to breaking up, you know, one way or down one way. Obviously, we're hoping for a break upwards, but we were getting into some very important times for AMC. And today was about as good a reaction as we could have hoped for, other than a little bit more volume to come along with it. And so I just want to talk about why. I want to talk about the candlestick pattern that we created today. And let's go ahead and just start with that. So the candlestick pattern that we created today is what's called a piercing line. I tweeted this out. So a piercing line is basically, we've got a massive downtrend, so we got a big old massive downtrend, and then we have a big bearish candle. So come over here. It's not a massive bearish candle, but it's definitely a bearish candle. I was kind of hoping we were catching our bottom right here, but we came down just a little bit lower. And then we have a gap down, which is essentially exactly what happened this morning. We opened to a gap down, and then you have a bullish candle that closes above 50% of the bearish candle's line. So that's what I was kind of telling my Discord. I wanted to close over about $9.40. So we'll just boom. So above $9.40 will give us that piercing line. So continuation is what I expect tomorrow. Now, the reason we were also at some very important times is look at all the support that AMC has been provided with where we were. So when you know it's good support or resistance is how does it react on both sides of the coin? Okay, so for me, what I like to look for is has it acted as support and has it acted as resistance? So let's just do a little bit of searching here on the chart. So right here, obviously a massive show of support. Right here, resistance. Right here, resistance. Right here, support. Right here, resistance. Right here, support. But if we keep going out further, look at this. Support, all right in here. Support. Then resistance. Look at that candle right there. Almost a perfect touch. And then, of course, if we come back here to the June run, resistance and resistance before breaking out on the June run. So we were getting to some times where it was like, all right, girl, we need to see you do some bouncing right here. And that's exactly what we got. Now, just like I've talked about, when it came to the abandoned baby that Trey pointed out, when it came to the potential morning star that I had pointed out, and now the piercing line that I pointed out. Also, too, guys, if you follow Rico or Trey or Dave or anything like that, I'm sure a lot of these guys talk about this. I personally never watch any of their videos before making my own video because I don't ever want any type of confirmation bias or anything like that. So I always watch, like, I go back and I watch those guys' videos after I got off. So if I'm repeating a lot of the stuff that they said, which I probably am because I consider, I hold those guys in very high esteem when it comes to technical analysis. So if I'm repeating some of that, I apologize. But so we've got some really good support. We need to see some bouncing going on right in here. And what I'm looking for is obviously continuation. And like I said, I'm looking for that kind of accumulation, rounded out bottom to start pushing up towards higher highs. Now, what we have seen is the overall market has really taken some beatings, over the last few days, and both AMC and GameStop have held up very well. So if I come over here to my chart that is comparing both GameStop and AMC, once again, I am a these stocks walk hand in hand as far as I'm concerned. This is the high frequency algorithmic trading that you can see, or clearly why these two stocks walk hand in hand, regardless of what one true Moaz people scream at you. So once again, just look at these charts. Almost identical. I mean, you got these springs right here, these flat tops that push down lower. Then you got the big markup that happened in March, followed by the big push down, followed by the upwards accumulation. Now, the only big difference here is GameStop, really shot up and then actually kind of stayed up at a little bit higher range. But GameStop right here, as you can see, this is the supply zone that the demand zone that has been tracking well since back in May. All right, so pretty much every time it's gotten to this zone, we've gotten some type of bounce, and that bounce, sends us up a little bit higher, before coming down. That shows, that buyers are accumulating in this range. That's your demand zone. Just like when you get up to your supply zone, which for a GameStop would have been up in, this range right in here. Every time it started getting up to the supply zone, then that's when your sellers got there. And I know nobody sells this thing, but that's when you got the push down. All right. So the good thing about GameStop too is I'm going to get rid of my supply zone here real quick. But if you go from here on its May 12th low and go up to, its most recent high, what bounce are you getting right here? Well, that is, to shock of no one as far as I'm concerned, these demand zones have also been right at the 618. So what did we get today on GameStop? You got almost a perfect, quite literally to the cent of a golden pocket bounce before pushing back towards the upside. So overall, that looks good. Now, if we come back here to AMC, this is what we really want to see. We want to see staying above this line. I talked about in multiple videos, below this line, we're going to be looking at lower lows. Above this line, we can talk about higher highs. So this is a crucial area for us to maintain support. We want to maintain this upwards macro trend line that we have been since we were also here in our lows back in May. Now, somebody retweeted my tweet when I talked about this because I said something like, I'm ready to be hurt again. And somebody retweeted it and was like, oh, great. So we're stuck in a pennant the rest of the year? And the answer is no. In fact, I would be quite surprised if we were stuck in a pennant the rest of the year. Now, a little bit of bouncing around in here would be not surprising to me, but just tracking all the way down here to, the very tip of this triangle is not typically what you're going to see. Typically what you're going to see is once you get to about, 20-30% left in the triangle, that's when it's going to be relatively obvious, which way we're going to break. So, once we get around here, towards middle of the end of October, I want to see us, pushing up here towards the high side. So, full disclosure, to let you guys know, I do have calls on AMC. I bought calls on AMC today. I also have puts that myself and the Discord sold on Friday of last week. So, I'm overall bullish on AMC, and I put my money where my mouth is. So I have calls and I sold puts on AMC. Now, also full disclosure, I closed out the puts that I sold on AMC. Once again, if you think selling puts is bearish or anything like that, or you got to buy them first, please do more research before even thinking about placing your next trade. So, like I said, we are at crucial areas of support. We need to stay above this red line, and let's call it, $9.01. So coming down here and testing this, we want to see big reactions. And what I want to see off this red line is pretty much exactly like what we saw right here. We want to see that the support is not only support, but it's solid support. We want to see buyers stepping in right here. So I want to see a big push up to, at least, $11 to $12. Now, what we got to watch out for is this right here is coming up, and let me change that color wise. We'll make it yellow. All right. So what we don't want to see is a continuation and a push up here, and then start getting kicked off here, and then start coming down and get a weak bounce, and then start coming down here. And obviously this would be just a classic head and shoulders playing out. There's part of me that's like, man, that would be so obvious. I feel like it would be invalidated. There was one on SPY a few weeks ago that was like the most obvious head and shoulders to play out that it wound up not playing out. So I'm hoping that we're going to get a similar reaction here for AMC. So we start coming up here around this $11.30 range. And no, not if, so if we hit $11.31, we're in the clear. No, it doesn't have to be an exact, leveled off or anything like that. It can be a little bit higher, could be even potentially a little bit lower. But we want to see the volume increasing on the bullish moves here. So we want to see, so we've gotten price action has gotten weaker down here, and now we've actually got a color change, and we got a color change on a daily close. I also texted Trey about this one. We got a nice bullish engulfing candle on much higher volume on the 4 hour. Let's go see what the 1 hour is looking like. Overall, you can see the stronger momentum candles are going to be your bullish candles here. Let's go see what 15-minute looks like. 15-minute towards the end of the day. This is all relatively a weak price action, but you can kind of see right here, which hasn't always played out that great here recently, but we're starting to see. So I'd like to see this play out right here, kind of this ascending triangle where you got the flat top resistance, but you got an uptrend underneath it. So, like I said, things look good. I expect, based off of the data that I have right now, I expect continuation going into tomorrow. And if tomorrow looks good, I expect continuation for the rest of this week. So it'd be nice if the overall market helped us out a little bit. It'd be nice if GameStop can help us out here a little bit. Once again, full disclosure, I also have GameStop calls, but I bought those last week. So got a good bounce here on GameStop. I said the memes look good. Bed Bath & Beyond was bouncing up today. So a lot of reasons to be bullish. What I'd love to see here, is just another, maybe like a 3 white soldiers pattern start playing out. So you get a candle like this. Obviously, they would be green. another candle, playing out like this. And that could very easily be what takes us up to our big $11 and kind of 30 cent, 25 cent, right in that range. So continuation wise, that's what I'm going to be looking for is, I want to start seeing some candles that look like this. I want to see the volume increasing as we do it. So that's going to be everything for today's update. Yeah, I think that's everything. I probably forgot something, but I want to try to keep this video a little bit shorter. So GameStop looks good. AMC looks good. Bed Bath & Beyond is looking good. Rising tides, lifting all the meme, boats, so to speak. So like I said, we got a great candle pattern going on today, but we want the follow through. If you hear nothing else today in my video, hear that. We need the follow through. Candle patterns are just that. They've got to have the follow through. So I want to see continuation. I'd love to see, a good solid 10% green day with increasing volume to really feel good about the bounce that we saw today. We don't want this to just be a weak bounce that then, tomorrow we make lower lows and then just kind of start spilling out and over. All right, that's going to be everything today, my friends. Once again, please follow me on Twitter, Colin_Gladman. Thank you if you donated to the GoFundMe for my student that passed away. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. His memorial service is tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So this is going to be a tough day tomorrow, so don't expect another video tomorrow or anything like that, unless it's just one of those I need to do something to clear my head and talk to you guys. But I truly, truly appreciate everybody's time. And once again, if you can't donate money, that's fine. I totally get it. Just the kind words and messages and everything like that have truly been awesome and uplifting, and I can't wait to share some of that and the awesome blessing that you guys have been. I can't wait to share that with his parents, helping out people you don't know. Some days it just feels like we're living in a cesspool, but these past about 48 hours for me has really shown me that there's a lot of good people out there. You guys are awesome. So anyway, I will see you in the next video or the Twitterverse or whatever. Have a good one, my friends. Once again, the GoFundMe will stay open until Friday, and then I'll shut it all down, and then we'll get that money to Jackson's parents. Have a good one, my friends. I'll see you in the next video.